So this is a video I've been extremely hesitant on making. For like the last 3 years, there's been a growing consciousness of angry, bitter, resentful men in a space what's now called the red pill community. Since about COVID, maybe just a little bit before that, since about maybe 2019, early 2020, this community has grown in influence and power and in voice. And in the very beginning, I didn't spot the divisive nature, the anger, the maliciousness that was the bread and butter of the platforms that these people are surfing on, if you will, and influencing society. I didn't think much about it. I was like, okay, well, this is gonna be something that just kind of comes and goes. Maybe they'll drop the odd nugget once in a while, but it seems that every other week there is a new podcast, there's a new platform, there's a new show where angry and resentful men who want to pull the curtain back, if you will, of women and their bad behavior and trying to wake up men to what's really going on. The games that women play, how disloyal, how distrustful, how misguided, how misled they really are. And, you know, I thought that a lot of people would have kind of seen through the conversations that were taking place, but I have been incredibly mistaken. I did not think that my brothers would be so easily influenced, but I guess I was very naive in understanding how much men need role models and other men who are aspiring to great things in life, how much they need a guiding force, and how starved men under the age of 40 really are just for solid examples of what masculinity looks like, that they are now grasping at unsound voices in the manosphere. And I've just come here to say that, guys, gentlemen, my brothers, like, so many of you are being hoodwinked by some of these influencers, podcast hosts, other coaches, if you will, into making you think that the majority of women are running game on you, that they have bad intentions, that they are the villains in all of this. And I don't want to contribute to anything like that. I want you guys to be able to have happy and healthy relationships with people who you want to build your life with. That I don't want you to go in resentful and as though you need to have power over these people just so you can be happy and safe. Like that's not what a relationship is, because the majority of this content that I see that's being pushed out is telling men, and I will agree to one part of this, is better yourself. Yes, better yourself. But most of this content is about just making money so that you can have control over others and enforce your law, the way that you want to live, onto other people. How you know, a lot of the things that are being taught are, you know, don't let your woman have social media. You know, she needs to stay at home and doesn't need to work, and you know, you need to make sure she has no guy friends, and all these types of things that these men are spewing out reek of insecurity. They reek of undealt with trauma. And I can't tell you how disheartening it is to see so many people, so many men supporting these platforms. And when I say supporting, I don't just mean being a fan. I mean like financially investing, paying to add comments to the conversations as though these conversations are fruitful, when really they're not, because the types of people that they have on their shows are not indicative of the majority of society. They are very intentional on the types of guests that they have on their podcast or whatever it is that are, I'm going to say this, just kind of people who don't respect themselves, much less other people. And they're passing this subconscious idea that this is the type of women that are the general standard out there. And it's really, really not. So guys, I just want you to take from these types of platforms and these shows and these clips as opportunities to maybe take little bits of information, but do not build your life and your understanding of what relationships and what women are, because it is one of the most skewed views of others that I've ever seen in my life. And all it is doing is driving a further divide, pitting people against each other, who can play the best game, who can get the most out of the other, who can enter into a dynamic and leave it less unscathed than the other. And I don't want that to be something that perpetuates. So guys, if this is something that you are noticing that you're kind of spiraling into, that you're subscribing to these types of ideals, I really want you to pause just for a moment, look at yourself and say, is that the best version of myself? Is that something I think that society is going to be better if I adopt these ideals? Can I actually do some critical thinking? Can I implement my own feelings and my own thoughts? Because, just adopting the ideas and ideals of other people is not something that I think true high value men actually do. So video reaches at least one of you and makes you just think a little bit about the information that you are consuming every single day. Think critically, think for yourself, and continue on your journey to become a high value individual.